Well, let's move away now from Israeli politics to the issue of security. Now, Israeli security forces have been active across the West Bank overnight and today. Several clashes reported between IDF troops and Palestinian militants. Now, according to Palestinian sources, 17-year-old Mohammad Kamal al-Ladaya was killed by Israeli fire and at least 6 others wounded during an Israeli raid into the Aqabat Jabbar refugee camp, which is near Jericho. The IDF says its units came under fire during an operation to arrest 2 Palestinian terrorists there. 2 machine guns were seized during the raid, and Jericho has been under heavy military restrictions for weeks now amid a surge of terror attacks and activity in the area. In other operations over the past 24 hours, the IDF says it has arrested 15 Palestinians wanted for terror activities. Well, for more, let's go to Palestinian security analyst Mohammad Najib in Ramallah. Mohammad, give us, from the Palestinian perspective, what happened today or over the last over 24 hours there in Jericho, in that refugee camp in the area.
Yes, Calev, Jericho is subject to strict siege and closure for 10 days, and which the Palestinians consider a collective punishment against them that negatively affected the tourism and agriculture season in the city, and the losses are estimated of $100,000. The Palestinian says that since the Israeli launched its military campaign against the West Bank called the Breaker of the Waves more than a year ago, it didn't siege Nablus or Jenin, which consider hotspots, the way that it does against Jericho. So the Palestinians therefore think this is a collective punishment, whereas dozens and hundreds of Palestinians passengers who return back from Jordan through Jericho wants to reach their towns in the West Bank, wait for hours at the checkpoints that deployed around the cities and the tightening closure that make them to wait for hours before they reach their final destinations.
Right. Now, Mohammed, this is a reminder that the clashes continue in the West Bank and the activity, and as you say, there have also been Palestinian fatalities. But maybe there is a sense, at least on the Israeli side, that with the end of Ramadan, that period, things have, I won't say quieted down. That would be inaccurate to say, certainly. But in the sense that there has been a lessening of activities and at least open rhetoric from the Palestinian side. What is the mood now in the Palestinian street following Ramadan?
It's quiet. The West Bank is quiet after Ramadan. There is no activities taking place in the West Bank. But the Palestinians really think that the West Bank is the only front where Israel can achieve victory against the Palestinians to please the right-wing voters, to show that this government can adopt a tough policy against the Palestinians than any previous government. Israel cannot achieve a victory against Hezbollah in Lebanon or Hamas in Gaza, so they heavily crack down on the West Bank, where easily they can claim they achieved victory against the Palestinians.
Right. Mohammad, I want to jump ahead. In the next segment, we're going to be talking about this Arab League summit taking place in Jordan. A question about whether to allow Syria back into the Arab League, basically bring Syria back in the fold. Palestinians are part of that discussion. What is the feeling among Palestinians regarding the Syria question?
Yes, Palestinians want that the Arabs be united, and they think they can gain more support of that. But also, they are changed in the region, whereas the Palestinians couldn't get the opportunity to be included there and have the focus on their cause, as Saudi Arabia is the main player in the region, and it's decided. But also, the Palestinians are looking for the Arab summit that's going to take place in Saudi Arabia in mid of May. So they hope that they can get financial support from the Arab countries as well as political support against the policies of the right-wing Israeli government.
All right, certainly the Palestinians hoping their cause goes back on the top the Arab League or the Arab agenda, but of course many other regional issues at play here now. Mohammad Najib in Ramallah, thank you for that.
Thank you.